Hello and welcome to another edition of LabRats. My name is Andy Walker.
I'm Sean Carruthers.
And today on the show, we're going to be taking a look at a brand new smartphone that a lot of people have been talking about, and people are really excited about this.
We already looked at the iPhone 4.
Close. Good guess, though. Try again.
The iPhone 4?
No, try again.
The iPhone 4.
The Blackberry Torch. The Blackberry Torch operating system 6.
Yes, okay.
Right? And let's face it, you know, whenever I talk to anybody about a smartphone, if they're not an iPhone user, chances are they're a BlackBerry user. You know, the business is big with the BlackBerry these days. And this new version's come out. And it's kind of a big sea change for BlackBerry. And so we wanted to kind of do a side-by-side comparison with the iPhone 4, let you guys know, what the cool new features are, and if it measures up to, of course, the leader in the marketplace from Apple.
Yes, and BlackBerry has gotten a bit of a black eye in the smartphone category over the last little while because of their Storm, which was, to put it mildly, not the greatest user experience in the world. So
Stinky.
It was a bit stinky.
All right. Well, let's take a break, and when we come back, BlackBerry Torch version 6 versus the iPhone 4. Welcome back to LabRats. Before we get started with today's show, I just want to mention real quick one of our sponsors, hover.com, a great website where you can register all your domains. And I have a domain over there I recently registered, andywalker.me, which is kind of cool, .me, right? You can shawncarruthers.me if you want. So they have all those, .com, .tv, all those guys, but I recently registered .me because I want to start using a kind of a custom vanity URL on all of my tweets. So,
you use a vanity URL?
Well, exactly. So the idea is, right, so on Hover, you can actually take one of those long YouTube URLs or Amazon and cut it down. So let's say you have a book, like Amber's book. Amber was here recently, Power Friend, right? And you want to send it to a friend. Instead of sending that long Amazon URL, you go into Hover, and they have a little kind of a applet thingy that you can then convert the long URL into a short one. So I turned andywalker.me/powerfriending from one of those long URLs in Amazon and fired it off to my friends. So it's a nice short URL. It's called forwarding, right? And or shortening.
So it's like one of those other URL shorteners that we've talked about in the past, except very personalized.
It's very personalized, exactly. So that's built into the hover.com account. So zip on over there if you want to play with that. It's a great place to get your domains and all kinds of fun tools there. And 10% off if you use the code LabRats.
Yay!
There you go, just to help you along.
Definitely.
It's good. Okay. All right, let's get on with the show. I'm very excited about the BlackBerry Torch. This is OS 6. It's a brand new, not only a brand new form factor for them, but also a brand new operating system as well.
BBOS 6, yes, and it definitely does look different. So,
and almost, I mean, in fact, many ways, the iPhone 4 has a new operating system, the iOS 4 as well, in a kind of a new form factor for the phone as well. So it's kind of a nice, a nice way to compare them side by side because they're two market leaders.
So there you go.
All right, so let's start with the form factor because I think that's the most important, in terms of feel. What was your experience when you picked up both of them and side by side?
Well, I'm used to the iPhone 3GS, so the iPhone 4 was a bit heavier, but the BlackBerry is a bit bigger still from the looks of it. You can see the two of them together. We've got the two of them. The BlackBerry is actually a little bit thicker. In fact, the bottom part of the BlackBerry is about the same as the bottom part as the entirety of the iPhone 4 because you've got the slider screen on the top here. It's about the same this way, a bit thinner. So if you get the iPhone in behind there, you can see that it sticks out a little bit. So it's a little bit shorter this way, longer obviously when you pull up the slider.
Now, two very different approaches to inputting data.
Yes.
Of course, the iPhone 4 has an on-screen keyboard like the previous generation did. The BlackBerry Torch here, a couple different ways to interact with it, right?
Yes.
So first of all, a slider keyboard.
So we've got the slider keyboard, so you can enter data this way.
So the die-hard BlackBerry fans will still love this and be able to type their messages. But also, they've actually have a multi-touch screen just like the iPhone 4 now, right?
So you can actually move things around. We'll get to something where you can actually move things around here. So we've got this right here. We can interact with it that way and just tap to open things up. We've got the soft keys underneath, like always. We can slide the whole menu screen down. Well, there you go. So you can move up and down that way.
Right.
So,
and then it has like a little trackpad as well.
Right. And so if you remember the BlackBerry Pearl, they had a little roller ball. They've since moved over to this more optical method here, where you actually slide up and down this way and side to side.
Nice.
And it just tracks your finger as it moves across the surface of that. No moving parts anymore.
So it strikes me like a lot of technology to please lots of people.
Yeah, it can be a little bit confusing, I find, is you've got 3 different ways to interact with the phone now as opposed to just one like you have on the iPhone. It's just all on the screen with your fingers touching and moving things around. This one you've got keyboard, screen, and it's just overkill in some ways. But
right.
no matter what your BlackBerry heritage, you can move to this one without having
to. It's like a crossover device from a previous generation to the new one, right?
Yeah, it's bringing people into the world of touch without getting rid of the old things. So
right, very good. Okay, good. Let's talk about the interface, because I think that's been a big change, incremental on the iPhone 4, certainly a huge change here over on the BlackBerry. It uses, it's called the operating system, isn't it version number?
BB06.
Version 6, I said, yeah. And again, it's all now icon-driven, touch-driven, multi-touch functionality.
Yes.
The screen itself, the resolution on it's what, 480 by 360?
Yeah, so it's very low. In fact, it's half the resolution of this one, which is
960 by 640. Yeah, absolutely, very good. So that means that you could probably play back almost HD over on the iPhone 4.
Yeah, almost HD, not quite.
Right.
Now, both will shoot HD video, but neither one of them can display. This one, the resolution on it is very much lower. It is old school.
Right. Now, we should mention that the iPhone 4 has a brand new, the display, the high-res display is called the Retina display.
Right.
What do you make of that?
Well, it is very much smoother on your eyes because you can't see the pixels. They say if you hold it out at a distance of about a foot, about 12 inches, you can no longer make out the pixels at all. With this one, you still can a little bit. It's still a little bit raggy around the edges. With this, with the iPhone 4, it's definitely a lot smoother. So,
I mean, my experience with the Retina display was just kind of wow. You can't see a single pixel. It just looks like a piece of paper, a lit piece of paper.
A lot clearer as well. You
Yeah.
can tell even the contrast on this is a lot clearer, very much easier to read.
All right, there you go. I know that the Blackberry Torch is a little slower than perhaps the iPhone 4.
Right. So when Apple got going on the iPad, they brought in a new acquisition they had called the A4 processor, a faster processor than the one they had before.
They actually bought a chip company and brought it in-house, right?
Right. Yeah, so they're making their own processors now, and they're about 1 gigahertz. The ones that are on the Blackberry Torch, very much old school in this regard. They're 624 megahertz, and a lot of reports saying that people, when they start multitasking, they're already bumping up against the edge of what this phone can do.
Right.
You almost never get that feeling with the iPhone 4 with the A4 inside it. So.
Right. It's very snappy, for sure.
It's very snappy, and again, it's not as snappy as a computer.
Right.
You wouldn't expect it to be, but it definitely does a lot more than the BlackBerry will do when you're running it with a bunch of stuff open and multitasking.
What about memory? Do you know what's the comparison now? That was a half a gig or something like that versus what?
Right, so the BlackBerry is 512 megabytes internal memory, and it comes with a 4 gigabyte mini SD card, so you can swap that out for whatever the largest one is. I think about 32 gigs at this point.
Okay.
But when they get bigger, you can put even more in, so you have a lot of expandability on this one, and you can change that and swap the cards out too if you just want to swap all of your data in and out really quickly.
Right.
The iPhone just comes with 16 or 32 gigabytes as standard. So
very good. Okay, good. All right. So comparable, although processors are clearly much faster on the iPhone 4.
Yes.
Let's look at the internet experience as well, because obviously that connectivity is very, very important. Both support Wi-Fi, of course.
Yes.
In terms of the cellular network piece of it, both support what's called HSPA, or high-speed packet access.
Yeah, and if you don't get what this is, check out our episode a few episodes back where we talk about the difference between these.
Right, Melons. We did that on Melons. So HSPA really is a standard for 3G data on cell networks these days. The iPhone 4 here has the edge in the sense that it does
it's not Edge.
No, don't confuse. It's not Edge technology, but it has the edge. It's HSPA+, which means it can do a speed of 7.2 megabits per second versus HSPA standard, which is 3.6. Okay. So it's half the potential speed. So really it is a kind of a generation behind.
Yeah, and I'm sensing a theme here where this is playing catch-up and not even necessarily getting up to the newest technologies. But for BlackBerry, it seems to be pushing up into the modern era.
Well, I think if you think about how the BlackBerry compares to the previous generation of BlackBerries, it's a big jump, isn't it?
It is. It's taken a lot of the stuff that was sort of lacking before and really modernizing it.
Yeah, kind of bringing them up into the sort of the same level as the competitors. What about cameras?
Cameras, 5 megapixel on both of them. There's a second camera on the iPhone 4 so that you can shoot towards yourself and use FaceTime.
So it has a camera here.
Yeah, and one on the back.
And camera here.
Whereas this one on the BlackBerry, there's just a single one here. Now both of them have flashes on board, LED flashes so that you can light up what you got going on there. So,
right.
But as I said, only one camera on the BlackBerry.
Now, a lot of people, especially when they have these things in their pockets all day, they're using them all day, worry about battery life.
Mm-hmm.
Now, have you had any experience with the iPhone 4 being a problem with its battery?
It's
a faster processor,
It's
right?
a faster processor, yeah. I mean, the biggest problem is always with multitasking when it comes to battery life, especially if you're using the phone regularly throughout the day for making phone calls and using it for listening to MP3s or whatever.
Or GPS.
Or GPS. GPS is the big one, and I found that I use the GPS when I cycle to work, and I'm sure you'd use it when you're driving in your car to work, and it eats a lot of the battery life. Now, the iPhone 4 is much better than the iPhone 3GS was, although my 3GS was getting a little bit older and the battery was getting a little bit poopier. But the point is that you can still run out of the battery fairly easily during a day if you're using the GPS and making a lot of phone calls.
Right.
Now, the nice thing about the BlackBerry, as always, is unlike the iPhone 4, you can actually get into the case and take the battery out. It's
so you put a replacement in there.
Right, and this is how you can get access to the SIM card and the micro SD slot as well down here. So a nice touch here is it looks like you can actually get access to the micro SD card without actually having to take out the battery, which is a really nice touch.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you can when your battery's dead, you can actually carry a second one around with you and just swap it in if you need to.
Yeah, my sister has my iPhone 3G now, and just it's 2 years old, just burnt out the battery, and there's no changing it. She called Apple and said, I want to change the battery, and they're like, not possible. So
there are some solutions for changing the battery, but they're very do-it-yourself, very enthusiast, and not very easy. And you might end up with a really ugly-looking iPhone after the fact.
That's right. Finally, let's talk about apps. You know, apps, of course, is the big thing that really kind of made the iPhone famous. So there's somewhere in the region of 210, 220,000.
A lot of them, yeah.
Apps right now for the iPhone. In fact, if you're interested in checking those out, we have an entire library, all 215 or 20,000, over at mobile.butterscotch.com. So it's a great resource for you to search out your apps. We also have some stuff on BlackBerry as well.
Yes,
BlackBerry,
and Android as well.
And Android too,
so
yeah.
All
of them, exactly. Though the BlackBerry community doesn't have as many apps to choose from.
Not yet, no. The App World was launched a while after the iTunes App Store was, and at this point I think we're looking at just a few thousand. I think they're saying about 7,000 officially. We were only able to find about 3,000 plus when we started looking for them using the App World app on board. Right. So compared to the hundreds of thousands that you can get on the other platform. You know, that said, there are a lot out there. So if you're looking for a type of app, chances are it's probably there. There's just not as much variety.
Not as many of them, yeah, exactly. Not as much innovation going on. All right, well, let's take a break, and when we come back, we're going to final thoughts about the iPhone 4 and the Blackberry Torch, as well as our clip of the week and your pictures as well. Welcome back to LabRats. So we have a fantastic clip for you. In fact, if you want kind of the microcosm of the best of the Blackberry Torch, Andrew Moore Crispin did a great segment on Gadget TV on the device itself. So let's have a quick look at that, and then when we come back, picture time.
Welcome on deck. I'm Matt Harris.
Hi, I'm Jay Goldman.
Welcome to the A-List. Hi, welcome to Miss Download.
The BlackBerry Torch 9800 runs BlackBerry 6 OS, which is the latest version of BlackBerry's operating system. Now, if you're a BlackBerry user previously, this will feel very comfortable to you. It really does feel like a step forward, though. You really feel like you're operating kind of a current generation smartphone. However, if you are an Android or iPhone user, it does feel like a bit of a step back. But let's have a quick look. So across the top here, we have our dedicated social media and messaging feed. So we can tap on this item here and get access to all of our emails, any SMSs that have come in, also our Twitter and Facebook feed. We can add in our Google Talk ID, our AIM ID, our BlackBerry Messenger ID, and several other IDs to actually consolidate all of our social media into one place.
If you want to see the whole clip of Andrew Moore Crispin doing the BlackBerry Torch, zip on over to butterscotch.com, and you can see the whole segment over there. All right. So let's get on to picture time.
No.
What do you mean, no?
No picture time today.
Oh, well, why not?
Because we got a video.
Oh, it's video time.
Yeah, we've told you can send your videos to us, and someone did.
Did?
Our friend David in Saskatchewan did.
All right, let's have a look.
So David sent this one along, and at the beginning, it doesn't really look like much is going on here.
David sent us a picture of the water.
The water. He was at Wascana Lake in Saskatchewan, and oh, there's something going on over there right now.
Was that a rat?
It is. It's a very skinny, long rat. It looks to me like a mink, and it's.
Is it a mink?
It's a mink, and he shot this with his Sanyo Exacti video camera.
Oh, is that ever cool? Hey, oh, look at that.
Yeah, So it's just
What a cutie.
wandering along the shore. So, I mean, not really tech related, except that he was using Exacti, which he told us about.
Yeah.
So
I like it
there
when
you
people use technology to capture nature. That's very cool.
Yeah. So there you go.
All right. Well, thank you,
Thank you
David.
so much, David, for
That's
sending that along.
awesome. If you'd like to send your videos to Video Time, you can email them to.
Minks are nothing but stinky, long, wet rats at labrats.tv.
And it's a lot to spell, so you can also send it to something shorter.
Feedback at labrats.tv.
Feedback at labrats.tv. All right. Thank you, David. That's great. Love that video. Fantastic. All right. Final thoughts on these two little guys here.
Yes.
Your sense of whether this can hold a torch to iPhone 4? Oh, see what I did there?
Yeah, I see what you did there. And the thought that I had when I first heard the word torch is like, is that someone mispronouncing touch? Because you know, it's just someone.
It's a Canadian way of saying
Sounds
touch.
like my baba saying torch.
Torch.
Torch. But no, it is a really big step forward for BlackBerry, I think. It definitely will appeal to people that are in that old business style of smartphone. People that have come from the world of iPhone, I think probably, and I described it earlier, the iPhone has a look to it. It's very much candy coated. Everything looks gorgeous on the screen, and the BlackBerry looks a lot more business-like. It looks a little bit more straightforward. Doesn't look as cute.
It's all business, man.
It's all business.
Pinstripe.
And from an interface perspective, I don't like it all that much. I'm used to the iPhone way of doing things, though. I'm sure that if you have used BlackBerry in the past, then this will be something you'll be much more at home with, I think.
I predict it's going to be a hit amongst the BlackBerry crowd. I think it's a jump forward far enough that people are going to say, wow, they finally got their act together around being a real smartphone. It's a contender now. Yeah. At least it's a consideration if you're going to get into the smartphone world. Yeah. I think nobody on the iPhone side, unless they desperately want a keyboard, are going to flip on over to the Torch. So it's not a business stealer from Apple, but I think it brings them into the fray.
Yeah, you know what it reminds me of more than anything? I think they're aiming their marketing at the iPhone crowd. If you see the ads that people are trying to be hip with their BlackBerry Torch, but I think it definitely has more in common with the world of Android devices, especially things like the Nexus One or some of the slider ones they have with the keyboard on there. It's a lot more straight ahead, no nonsense kind of thing, aimed at a much more business mentality, and the ability to sideload apps onto it so that you don't have to live with the tyranny of the iTunes App Store is a big plus in its favor if you're into that sort of thing, if you're willing to live with there being less of them.
Got it.
So.
Cool. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Carruthers. All right, so that's it for us for this week at LabRats. You know, it'd be foolish for us to be here with our smartphones if you weren't out there scratching your head. My name is Andy Walker.
I'm Sean Carruthers.
And we'll see you next time.
Are you ready?
It's now time to play Who Has the Best iPhone Camera? Andy? Sean? Or Matt? Oh. I will get him for this. Go to the Genius Bar, dude. Well.